What up, everybody? It's day 5 of Moorish American week. Coming from City of Chicago Mayor letter proclamation, Brother Ron Emmanuel. We're not gonna keep going over it like the entire document, but there's a bunch of stuff in that that is enough that I could, do these videos, and it lasts quite a bit of time. I wasn't really gonna do this video today. I did 2 yesterday. It was a lot of work, and I was a little tired, to be honest with you. But it's not so much left. I think I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna do an overview, a recap. If I don't get through everything that I want to get through today, as it will relate to this letter, and then afterwards, we'll have day 7. It'll be like question and answers. I'm still trying to figure it out. We're coming at the end of it. I'm gonna go back to the paragraph in the letter that speaks about Noble Ali. This should be real quick because we're on the last 2 paragraphs. Okay, I'm gonna reread this paragraph just because at the end of it, it takes us to the point that I want to make or touch on today, and that's the 13th Amendment. It says, whereas on January 8th, 1886, Noble Ali was born in the state of North Carolina, destined to become the first patriot of his mentally enslaved Moorish American people. In 1912, he was later anointed as El Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali by the heads of Egypt and Holy See of Mecca to return to the United States as the last prophet and founding fathers of the newly risen nation of Moorish Americans, which is very important. As a result of the 13th Amendment, Moorish people were emancipated from slavery in 1865. What's on the paper is 1865. Okay, that would be the time. At that time, I told y'all it was significant because of who was in office, who they give credit to allegedly freeing the slaves. Okay, and that was always something that is attributed to Abraham Lincoln when he was in office. 1865. Clarity as to why Rahm Emanuel said that as a result of the 13th Amendment, Moorish people were emancipated from slavery in 1865. Now, what I'm about to say next is worth mentioning. Why would he say the 13th Amendment? Because of that 13th Amendment, people of Moorish descent were emancipated from slavery. Like, when you look at what they teach in most schools as it would relate to the 13th Amendment, you wouldn't really see this as you wouldn't be able to tie two together, because the 13th Amendment that is mostly taught in schools is not the original 13th Amendment. It's not even the ratified 13th Amendment. I'm gonna go ahead and say. And so in order for this to make sense, because when I was trying to make it make sense, I had to go to the original 13th Amendment, which was properly ratified, and take the time out to research it for yourself. But I'm going to scroll down here to the 13th Amendment. Go to section 12. Okay. Again, this is the original 13th Amendment. This is not what most of your books that you see today will have in reference to the 13th Amendment, with reference or in regards to the 13th Amendment. But it becomes more clear when you hear the original 13th Amendment, which was actually ratified, okay, by Congress. It says, the traffic in slaves with Africa is hereby forever prohibited on pain of death and the forfeiture of all the rights and property of persons engaged therein. And the descendants of Africans shall not be citizens. Breathe, okay? Again, they don't teach this. They don't say this is why we have to vote in order to consider whether, when African Americans try to participate in matters that relate to the affairs of a government that has clearly shown you that, you're not really you're not considered a full-fledged citizen. Okay, this is where you get the 3/5 of the person, codified and kind of, you know, in a way refined so that you mentally don't really see that you still not really a full-fledged citizen. Okay, this is key because Ron Manuel said that because of the Emancipation Proclamation, I'm gonna go to that too. But he said, "You." What did he say? I'm gonna go over it again. It says, um, "You were emancipated from slavery." Okay, so you were never supposed to be held in bondage, judged, and all this other stuff by a foreign people because nobody does that except people who have been conquered. And it is because of your lack of awareness and your inability to think outside of what has been given to you, that was told to you, that there is a system for you, okay? But it's not one in which you can enjoy all of the protections and immunities that are afforded to people who are considered full-fledged citizens, which is why you get treated so bad. Okay, emancipated, free from legal, social, or political restriction, liberated. Okay, I'm gonna say that loosely because technically he when you have Abraham Lincoln who made that proclamation, he was really exercising and proclaiming something that he had no authority over. Like, these are free individual states, and South lost the war. Okay, you are part of the Union. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that the Articles of Confederation only go as far as that which is permitted under federal law. Okay, so your sovereignty, your sovereignty, you know, you have to play by rules, by federal rules, just like on a supervisor's level is what you have for the international courts that the United States. They're their own jurisdiction, but they're under the supervisory supervisor authority of the international courts. Okay. Some of y'all might be asking, well, what does this mean? Well, it means, for one, if you are free from bondage, from legal restriction in the capacity that would be for somebody who is protected by international law and under the rights of the indigenous people, for specifically, you know, how we choose to do stuff here, then you just need to learn how to think like a free man. Stop thinking like a slave, basically. Because there's so much more. That's all I got for y'all today. Take care.